Dear Lord, Jake, that was brutal. Classic fake Celtics comeback. They took us all the way there. They walked us all the way up to the edge. We had the lead in overtime at one point, and then Pascal Siakam, like credit, very, very clutch, very, very good down the stretch, and we just couldn't get over the line despite an awesome showing from Neemias Queta, who was fucking great. But I don't know where you want to start. This is just like let the emotions flow.
We almost had it, dude. We had it. We had it. The missed free throws is going to ring pretty loud, I think.
Yeah.
Jalen misses 2. Tatum misses 1. It's hard to be too mad at Tatum. Free throw wise, he went 12 for 15 from the free throw line. They were down 24, I think, at one point.
Yep.
Came all the way back. Force overtime. Neemias Queta, man, he was unbelievable. He had 9 rebounds in less than 14 minutes. I hate that Pascal Siakam has now beaten the Celtics. That was 13 games in a row. The Pacers talking that shit when they were up and they were being really annoying. I now understand what Bucks fans are saying. The Pacers are annoying when they're winning. It's like you guys aren't shit.
Yeah, TJ McConnell doing like his little gestures at the crowd and shit when they were up by quite a lot was very frustrating. And just the idea of coming back, shades of Game 3 in the playoffs to some degree, coming all the way back on their court. And Neemias Queta, Peyton Pritchard, like Joe Mazzulla sticking with those guys down the stretch was a really cool tip of the cap to their performances. But, you know, for every bad thing that Jason Tatum did, that he did something equally good to sort of get us back in this game as well. Him playing, you know, with that bench lineup at some parts of the game. Same with Jalen. I think maybe probably very likely skewing towards the negative side overall for Jaylen Brown. But he had some good run with the bench lineup as well down the stretch in that fourth quarter to sort of like get us back in this game and to even give Jason Tatum a reason to check back in the fourth quarter. So
that's true.
I don't know.
That's true.
I don't know, Jake.
Jalen couldn't do it one more time. I like that they ended up going to Jalen to try and tie it up, you know, a la the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah. He airballed it.
We had to rush it. It had to be a catch and shoot because they were going to foul to send us to the line, which like maybe you just want to get the 2 points and then play the foul game.
No, not enough time, I don't think.
6 seconds.
There was like 6 seconds. He got a good look at it. He got the Eastern Conference Final shot was harder. I think the problem is he's in a, like, I don't know if he's in a 3-point shooting slump because he's still was at 39% on the season coming in today, but he was 1 for 11 from 3 today. Bad, obviously. Tatum shot 18 threes.
18 of his 25 shots were threes. But 15 free throw attempts though.
So obviously that's the field goal attempts don't count when you're getting to the free throw line. So that's 7 field goal attempts. So at least around half. It was like 50-50. Man, it's all obviously kind of a blur because like we had kind of given up on the game, reverse jinxing, fake. Oh, this is a fake comeback. It's a fake comeback until it wasn't a fake comeback. And so like I'm trying to.
I stopped taking notes in the second quarter, man. I was like, this is over. Whatever. It's just going to be an emotional night. And it still will be, but for different reasons. Illegal contact, Derek White. That's one note I did take in overtime where he was at the shot clock expire and he got called for illegal contact with like a clean block on the ball on Siakam there.
The 2-minute report will be great for that one.
Tough to blame like the refs on this one though. Like there was ample 100%. Bed shitting from our guys, from buzzer to buzzer.
Well, not buzzer to buzzer. I would say from buzzer to halfway through the third quarter, a lot of disgusting basketball, specifically defense, and that's been a trend so far this season. Is the defense hasn't been that good, and the defense was probably at its worst today, and you can't be playing like that against this Pacers team. And we did, and they absolutely lit us up. And what did they end up? It ended up still 48% from the field, 40% from 3, but they were like hovering around 57% from the field for like basically until the comeback started. I will say this fake comeback doesn't hurt as much as last year. I think that could be something good to talk about on late night tonight. It's just like these losses, and we'll see if we end up stacking some losses. They might start to hurt a lot more, but it's hard to be as upset for me right now. Like, I'm still fucking annoyed, but like not to the same degree if this would have happened last year. Like, having the title just makes it so much better.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely nerfs the negative feelings. I was always in like cancel my plans territory after losses prior to the chip, and this is the first loss post championship, really, outside of the preseason, and it just doesn't hit the same. It's all good. I kind of would take the blowout though, because it's just like, we just didn't have it tonight, and you don't have to get invested in what is ultimately a loss. But we've been on that roller coaster many times before. I guess before we get to some positive takeaways, first quarter and a half, really first half of the game, a step slow on defense, and that was never more evident than with Derek White, of all people, who was a step slow, getting caught up on screens, getting cracked off the dribble, just like not Derek White stuff, Jake, which was mind-boggling.
Yeah, defensively, him and Drew really struggled, but Derek White in particular, I'm kind of used to it with Drew a little bit. Like, he, in the regular season, at times last year, like, he'll just won't be full Drew, and that's kind of okay. But Derek's not really ever like that, and today he was just getting dusted off the dribble over and over again, which is bad. Yeah, and then it took them forever to get into a switch everything defense, and they're playing all this drop, but they should be able to play drop, and it wasn't even the drop coverage that was the problem half the time. It was like that was a problem, don't get me wrong, and the screen navigation and the pursuit was terrible. But like, just like one pass to the wing and then like fake baseline drive middle, or fake middle drive baseline, and that was not something that we're used to. But like, on the other hand, Derek White was 8 for 9, 5 for 5 from 3, 23 points. So very good for my Derek White, averaging 20 plus points All-Star campaign. So he obviously was fantastic on the other end. Like, Drew though, he got benched in this game. He had 3 turnovers. He was playing some CTE ball. He's a team low -19. But to be fair, if he had come back in during the comeback, I feel like he would have helped as well. You know what I mean? Like,
Jalen was a -31 at one point before, and he was sort of forced to stay in there and make up for his sins earlier in the game, which he totally did. It was a Jaylen Brown led lineup for a little while there that got us back in, and saw the rest of the starters aside from Drew check back in. I was so caught up in the moment, I didn't even notice that Drew Holiday wasn't back in. And I wonder if it was more just like props to Pritchard and how well he had played, and less of a dig at Drew. But he's definitely in early season form. Like, it took us a while to learn to love Drew last year, because he sort of took a while to fall into line. And I thought that maybe wouldn't be the case because of the continuity coming into this season, but it's clearly like an early season Drew Holiday ramp up situation. Another good takeaway from this game though, Al Horford, despite overtime.
Yes.
19 minutes, 23 seconds. If that's not a victory, I don't know what is.
Yeah, in an overtime loss where Al Horford only has to play 19 minutes, that was great. And he actually played fine tonight. Tillman struggled again tonight. Cornette had a weird game. I thought, like, he ended up getting himself to the line a few times. He had 7 rebounds. I think there was a little Enos freedom going on there, and rebounding a couple of his own misses. Just like, man, the Celtics had 18 offensive rebounds and the Pacers had 16. Wow, both teams had a lot. The Celtics could not rebound, it felt like, tonight.
No. Which is weird, because they didn't have a center beyond Isaiah Jackson.
Yeah, they were a step slow tonight, the Celtics. Like, they're usually very good at getting to loose balls, very good on the boards, very good on the margins. That's like what this team does. They're insanely talented, and they kick the shit out of you on the margins as well, which makes them impossible to beat. So tonight they did not do any of those things, and coming to tonight they had been coasting on like elite 3-point shooting as well, and they were still generating some good looks in the first half, but they shot 33%. It's kind of crazy. They shot 33% in the first half, and then they ended up 33% for the total game as well. But yeah, they just couldn't get them to go in the first half in particular. Like, they despite generating some good looks, man. Tatum with 18 threes. It's such an eyesore on my box score.
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty rough. Does that not? Sorry, you finish and then I'll
I was
add
going
a
to
point.
say especially the last one. Well, I think this is the thing with him. Well, maybe we'll save this for the late night. But like when he makes one or has a big game, then he can't help himself. But in particular, the one that sucked was the last one he took, where they're tied and he ends up taking a step back three or a pull up three over Isaiah Jackson. And prior to that, he'd be getting himself to the free throw line. He had taken a couple other bad threes as well. Obviously, he had one of the biggest threes of the game, which was awesome. And it's too bad that we don't get that for the highlight reel now.
I know. Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, does this go?
Restocked.
What happens to the Chamber of Secrets when you have the title? Does it like?
I think everything post title, it's like we're restocked. It's been cleaned out. Yeah. Spring cleaning inside the chamber. Everything's been removed. And now we're sort of restocking it with new moments. And that's an early entry.
Yeah.
I think because that Tatum shot, someone described it in the playback. It's like it's a sickness for him, or he hits one and he's like, "I am the fucking man." Yeah, all these shots are going down, and 18 3-point field goal attempts. It's right there on the box score.
Too many.
Pretty tough look. But and Eric Weiss was talking about this at halftime in the playback as well. But and I wanted to ask you this: is that play style, that many attempts from outside the arc, is it any indication as to what their approach is? Like as far as like active rest, I suppose, for lack of a better term, might be to begin this season, or am I like clutching at straws? Copium?
No, I think Tatum was a big active rest guy. Has been for years. Like one of my dad's theories is that he wishes he would just play 5 less games a year, as opposed to taking 10 to 12 games or whatever it is lightly. And I'm like, that's an interesting theory. But even coasting Tatum is a lot better than no Tatum. So. I kind of prefer the coasting version. It is interesting theory, lizard brain take, that they're actually trying to math their way to like 55 wins by not trying very hard. Mm-hmm. And 4-1, that gives you a 4 divided by 5, 80% win percentage. So I'm pretty sure that's still a very, what is that? That's still a 65 win rate. So just keep going 4-1 for the rest of the season.
That'd be nice. The counterpoint is that your two best players played basically 44 minutes each and have to fight really hard to get back into this game. So
didn't work tonight.
It did not work. It did not work. Not even close. Man, that was a fun one. It was good to feel those feelings again. We haven't really felt that since the playoffs. Just the I'm gonna shit my pants watching the Celtics kind of feeling. Folks in the chat, we've got almost 200 of you in here. Please hit that like button. Helps us with the algorithm gods. Helps put the show in front of more people. Subscribe as well if you haven't already. And Jake, you're gonna be back live on this channel a couple hours from now. Celtics late night with Sam LaFrance from How About Them C's.
Yeah. Whenever the Garden Report is done. So anywhere between 60 and 90 minutes probably from now, they'll be wrapping up and we'll do a bit of a commiserations, talk about the rest of the NBA, just hang out, break down why the Celtics are terrible now, why the season is over, obviously. But yeah, no, it'll be good. Other than that,
nice.
Peyton Pritchard got a shout him out, man. He's making me a rich man. I hit the Peyton Pritchard over 9.5 was the line, and then also Peyton Pritchard 15 plus at like 3.5 to 1. So
ooh, spicy.
He's my guy to start the year right now. Appreciate him.
I finally bet the Cornet under tonight after hitting the over and failing to reap any rewards after that for the first 4 games of the year. And of course, he gets his 8 points, predominantly from the free throw line as well, just like we drew it up. But yeah, Peyton Pritchard, man, a dog, 5 of 14. But I think he held up pretty well on TJ McConnell. It was a more even battle between those two, whereas TJ had sort of bested him in their playoff battles. So that was good to see the growth there from Pritchard. But look, the ball pressure from Indy all night from the jump was really solid. And I thought it just maybe surprised the Celtics a little bit in terms of just adding a little extra layer of difficulty for them to get into a rhythm offensively. And, we know how the story played out. By the time they found a rhythm, it was too late. Only just, though, overtime, close loss. And Siakam hits that above the break 3. Someone said it in the chat earlier, I think it was Teddy, that we just happened to get Brown's worst game and Siakam's best career game of all time at the same time, which sucks. But hey, we're champions, so who gives a fuck, I guess.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
The Garden Report alive. So any parting thoughts before we wrap this one up, Jake?
Celtics swept those bums, so whatever.
Yep. Eloquent in its brevity. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Jake's going to be back on here in 60 to 90 minutes, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.